Welcome back to Definitely Not Definitive. I'm Ken.
And I'm Bethany.
And we're just a fantabulous couple in love that loves reacting to some Fallout.
Yes, we do.
So this is the Storyteller Fallout series. This is season 3. It's the end of season 3. We're episode 23 and 24. Yeah, so this is the end of it. And then we got season 4. And I think that's it. I think season 4 is the last one.
Oh, wow.
Could be wrong about that. If you want all of our Fallout reactions, check out the description of this video. We got a playlist there for you. And we also have a special drink for Fallout.
Yeah, we do. So this is our stim pack spritzer because it comes with a stim pack.
Yeah.
So you add the stim pack.
Revitalizing.
Little stir, just because that's a good idea. And then, boom. You cheers.
Cheers.
And you're ready to go.
I love how you always say, like, give it a little stir, because that's a good idea. As if that's like a PSA, like, you know, and then after you go to the bathroom, like, wash your hands. You know, that's a good idea. Like, you know, stir it around. It's a good idea. Mix it up, get your stim pack. You know, you want all the stim pack all at once in there.
It's good to disperse the stim pack.
Yeah.
Yes.
The Chosen One finally rescued the people of their village from the Enclave oil rig.
He's gotta
But
mix it.
that's when they came across the Enclave's most tenacious soldier.
Who?
Me, Frank Horrigan. That's who. United States Secret Service. You aren't going anywhere from here. Time to die.
Yep.
Okay.
That's how he ended it. I'm running away. Fuck you.
You haven't won here. You and your muty bastard friends are gonna join me in a big old mushroom cloud send-off.
Aren't you a mutie?
I just triggered the self-destruct. The work will go on. You didn't do nothing here except seal your own death warrants. Duty,
Double negative, so I did do something.
honor, courage, semper fi.
Oh, bye, dude.
Because he's in the Marines. Oh! Just for good measure, okay.
Frank was apparently unaware that the Chosen One had a functioning tanker ship docked at the Enclave's base, not far from that very room. The vessel returned to San Francisco, and the surviving villagers of Arroyo slowly made their way back north to their home, along with their distant cousins from Vault 13, who left the vault behind them forever.
The Enclave still had some people alive at the base on the mainland in Navarro, but the NCR and the Brotherhood teamed up and chased just about every last one of them out of California.
How's about that? You two can work together. The Enclave is certainly the greater threat. As I said before, the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Look, the tunnel ends up ahead.
Miles from coast to coast. The United States was a country with lots of territory and loads of people. They were all governed from here. Welcome to the capital Wasteland. I suggest we make camp and scout out ahead. If I'm right, your android should be close by. I have a special mission for you, Edna. I'm sending you some coordinates. I need you to deliver a message. The Vault Dweller is the strongest, smartest, sneakiest critter to ever walk the wasteland. If we're going to fight his android, clone, hybrid thingamajig, we're going to need some help. I know you're tougher than you look, Edna. I'm afraid we simply don't have the firepower to face him ourselves. Don't you want to help our friends? Don't you want to make sure they're safe? Think about it.
How do you say go to hell in Robot?
Must be a ghost. Boo.
Edna's a bitch.
Oh! She's not like any of them.
Deliver my message and avoid any wastelanders. They might mistake you for an Enclave Eyebot. I got this strange feeling your android knew we were coming.
Alright, right, Daisy, your time to shine.
What's the plan, Ranger?
I think I know how we can clear the dogs out quickly. You're not gonna like it, Junior.
Is he bait?
Are you sure about this, Ranger? Maybe we should just wait it out.
If we wait any longer, this android could find a way to give us a slip. I won't let that happen again. This ends today.
Win or lose, this is certainly going to be one for the history books.
Yeah. So that's how storybooks are. No,
It's
Bucky.
okay, Bucky.
It's okay. No. Oh my god. I think Bucky was trying to warn them.
Well, old girl, it's been fun.
Oh, that's why I didn't like it. Because it's gonna blow up his car. Oh.
Targets acquired. Bad dogs.
They were bad dogs, but still. So.
Sorry about the highwayman, Junior. I don't want to talk about it.
The NCR will compensate you for the loss of your car, Junior. Here, I picked out a souvenir from the wreckage. It isn't much.
Tire
but
iron?
it's something to remember her by.
I feel dirty. Just promise me that when the time comes, I get the final shot with this here rifle. Come to think of it, it would make for a better story if Junior delivered the killing blow with his father's gun.
We're not here to make stories. We're here to bring a murderer to justice. You didn't tell me the android was going to be held up in a vault.
Vault 108? Yup. The only vault I know of that can clone an entire human. Last time I was here, it was filled with a bunch of interchangeable lunatics,
Gary.
all named Gary. Why would the android leave the front door unlocked if it knew we were coming? The way I see it, the Vault Dweller is sending us a very clear message.
It's done running, and now we'll be fighting on its turf, and on its terms. Stay on your toes, everyone.
The purpose of the Vault 108 experiment was to study leadership and power. The folks at Vault Tech orchestrated it so that within 40 months, the overseer of this vault would die, with no one designated to take over. That wasn't the worst of their problems, though. According to Vault Tech records, their power supply was also scheduled to malfunction.
This place is a little creepy.
I disagree. Sure, the blood-splattered walls were a bold stylistic choice. I could see making this place a home, especially if I'm a deranged killer. You hear that,
Yeah.
Vault Dweller? I like your style. Come out here so I can shake your hand.
Warning. Hostiles detected.
Vault Dweller?
Stop where you are.
Vault Dweller?
What are we waiting for? Let's
How many
just
of them
shoot him.
are there?
Vault Dweller.
Huh?
Gary.
Ah, Vault Dweller. Vault Dweller? Ah, Vault Dweller.
Did I mention that Vault 108 had cloning technology?
Hey, Vault Dweller.
Oh, nice.
Vault Dweller. Vault Dweller.
Daisy, what's the situation?
Compiling threat assessment. My senses are detecting 32 hostiles in close proximity. Risk of death by blunt trauma, high.
Oh.
Risk of death by gunshot, high. Risk of death through strangulation, high. Risk
Ask your doggun if we're safe in here.
of immediate breach, 13%.
Good, so I won't die now. Just die later.
I
Take
figured the
advantage
Vault
of the
Dweller
other options.
android
Yep.
would come here to breed himself an army. But I'm impressed he managed to succeed so quickly.
You're observant, Storyteller, I'll give you that. But no one could have anticipated this. How did you even know the android was coming to Vault 108 in the first place? Is there something you're not telling us?
Uh-oh.
Several days ago, when we were setting up camp, Daisy said something that caught my attention. She said she detected nearby life forms that could outlive her, but Edna was the only other robot nearby. Had Daisy been human, I would have written it off as an honest mistake. That night, I couldn't stop thinking about it. I went for a walk to clear my head. I started mulling over the mission and got to thinking about the android and how he always seemed to be just one step ahead of us. The more I thought about it, the more it bugged me. The story just wasn't adding up.
Storyteller's right. I hate to say it. The Vault Dweller's dog cart was a faster way to get around the Wasteland than my highwaymen. Android could have left us far behind him.
And every time we arrived on the scene, it looked like the android had just left.
On a hunch, I checked my armor's data storage. Sure enough, my files had been tampered with. Specifically, my data regarding androids, clones, the Institute, and Vault 108.
The android? Did it?
Yes. My guess is that it stuck close to us long enough to find a way to hack the data I've been gathering. It's probably learned a lot about the Wasteland. That explains how it found the location of this vault. He would know the location of the Institute by now too, but luckily I use a heavy encryption to protect my more sensitive data files. It seems your NCR intel was correct, Ranger. Your android is trying to get to the Commonwealth. He's been using us to do it.
I was sent to hunt down the android and stop it from reaching the East Coast. You're telling me we've been helping it this whole time?
So the Vault Dweller played us for fools.
You signed our death warrants the moment you let us walk into this trap. Why didn't you warn us?
Because despite how bad things might look right now, this isn't a trap set for us.
Yeah, and
Vault Dweller?
He's pissed.
Vault Dweller.
Well, hello there. Looks like we caught some
Sweet.
boys with their pants down. Light them up.
brother.
I called in a few favors. You'll have to forgive me for not speaking up sooner. Once I found out that the android was spying on us, I had to keep my mouth shut.
You actually kept your mouth shut about something? I'm impressed. I don't know what kind of ace you've got up your sleeve, Storyteller, but it's working. The clones are clearing out. Look. If we make our push now, we might be able to catch the android before it realized what's happened.
Why? Why are you still hunting me?
You've been following me for 3,000 miles, so I take it I don't need to introduce myself. The three of you have been very persistent. You, old man. You're that guy I saw with the broken down car back on I-15.
If I knew you'd get it running, I would have
Shot me in the back without even looking me in the eye. I knew the homicidal gene runs strong in you and your kid.
I might have just stolen the car, or convinced you to sell it to me at a steep discount, all are options. I opted to leave you be.
Surely you of all people could understand, old-timer. All I want is to live free of the NCR, to be left alone. And are you two some sort of Brotherhood NCR coalition? Here to rob me of that freedom?
We're here to administer justice.
Yes, I escaped the NCR's cage and you would have done the same. The ranger here hunts me out of her sense of duty. I don't hold it against her. Dedication is important. After all, my first self contributed to the founding of your republic. But you, Brotherhood, why are you here? Surely a man of your knowledge and skill would be better spent elsewhere.
I always wanted to meet the Vault Dweller, or at least his shadow. I heard rumors of your silver tongue. They say the Vault Dweller could charm a bird out of a tree. I could see now the stories weren't exaggerated.
I merely play the hand I've been dealt.
Does that include murdering the innocent?
I did what I had to do to be free.
That might help you rationalize the scientist you butchered. But you didn't stop with them, did you? What about the other innocent people you killed to get here?
Helen likes
Weren't they
dogs,
just
man.
people who wanted to live free of the NCR?
What happened to the Luddites was regrettable,
He doesn't want to hurt
But I was left with no other choice. Your highwayman gave me quite the chase. My pursuers were hot on my trail, and I had no time to tiptoe my way through King Lud's territory.
Liar!
We know you've been taking it slow on purpose, gathering intel and keeping an eye on us.
You hacked my power armor to discover the location of Vault 108. The fact that you're standing here now confirms it.
I did do that, didn't I? Answer me this, Brotherhood. If you knew I found a way to remotely hack your armor's operating matrix, why did you even bother showing up today? I tried to reason with you. Clearly that wasn't in the cards today. Luckily, my technical skills are a lot more reliable. I was able to enhance some of the cyber dogs I found in Denver. You'll find that their bite is a lot worse than their bark. Good luck.
Daisy! Suppressive fire! Something's wrong. Daisy's targeting us all over the place. Ugh.
I can't get a clean shot! Get over here, you mangy mutt!
Yeah, the tire iron.
Sorry you had to see that, Ranger. Know you fancy yourself a dog lover.
Those weren't dogs. They were monsters. I think you just saved my life.
I'll
Yeah.
take that as a thank you.
Now we gotta find where the... Junior!
I haven't lived long, but if you think I'm a prodigy now, just imagine what I could become at the Institute. I'm not running from you anymore, Ranger.
You don't have to.
Nice.
Kick his ass, Ranger.
Daisy,
Yes, Tanner?
sick 'em.
She can't.
What are you waiting for, Daisy? He shot Junior. Kill him!
I'm sorry, Tanner. I'm afraid I can't do that
What? Why?
because I've been a bad, bad dog.
That's how they hacked her. Daisy was playing them the entire time. Oh my god.
Daisy.
I've been knocked unconscious before, you know. Not one of my fonder memories.
Where am I?
You're right where I found you. Passed out on the floor of this vault.
No doubt sleeping on the job while we do all the hard work.
You remember Scribe Bigsley.
Sentinel Lions and I got your message. Oh, did you really have to encrypt it?
I was afraid Edna might be intercepted. It was necessary.
It was a pain in my ass, that's what it was. I cracked your coordinates quickly, but the Pride here, yeah, they had to drag me along until I decrypted the rest. Oh my god. You know, it was real fun running around the Wasteland, so you know what? Thanks for that.
Is it true? Were you really chasing an android clone hybrid? Did it create all those clones we fought back there?
Yes. And by the looks of it, he got away. Again.
He left behind a holodisk addressed to you. It says your friend Tanner is being held hostage.
Tanner's gone.
Appears so. The message went on to say that she won't be returned until you've guided him to the Institute. He says he'll be close by, watching you.
What about Junior and Daisy?
I don't know who Daisy is, but Junior... Well, I don't know how else to say this. He didn't make it. What are you gonna do now?
The only thing I can do. I'm going to see this story through till the end.
You know we can't help you.
Yeah, I know.
We'll get you resupplied, and then you're on your own.
It's alright. It's got Edna. Man, that was really good. Just the culmination of it all, and like from where we started with this series, of it just being like about lore, and then we get like the introduction of the storyteller, and he gets a little bit more involved, and then this one was like really like probably, I don't know, 60-40 lore and story, like new original story in it, and it had an impact for me there at the end. So I think that was a job well done.
Oh, the betrayal of Daisy.
Yeah, I wanted you to talk about that.
Oh, knife in the heart with a twist.
Yeah.
And some salt.
Yeah.
And some lemon juice.
Oh.
That bitch.
I've been a bad dog.
And that was like, so I was sitting here, I'm like, all right, so this is me overthinking it, of course. But I'm like, she's a dog's brain in a jar attached to a gun, who has the self-awareness to know she's been a bad dog. So she is a bitch. Like, there is no longer empathy for Daisy whatsoever. Like, it's one thing to be like, I'm sorry, Tanner, or I have like another person. Like, there are other ways, but no, she knew she was a bad dog. She knew what she was doing was wrong. So that was a punch in the gut for sure. Really felt for Tanner in this episode, and I'm incredibly invested in what's going on with her character right now being held hostage, just because, even as Junior said, like, I'm so sorry, that must have been really hard for you because she had to kill these cyborg dogs. But she said, like, they weren't dogs, they were monsters. But then Daisy betrays her. I mean, it was just kind of like this very human, very relatable quality about Tanner. Something that honestly, for me as an audience member, hooked me into her character, because I was like, this is something I connect with this character on. Like, we love dogs. And yet that was so twisted in this episode to be essentially her Achilles heel, that... I mean, it was great storytelling, which I hate saying because it was so impactful in the right way, but the way that makes me angry. And the loss of Junior, I didn't think was going to hit me, really. Not because he wasn't a good character, but just because he wasn't a character who I really had an in with at this point. Storyteller, we've fallen. Edna, for some bizarre reason, I could relate to the robot better than Junior. But Junior just was a character type that was a little bit foreign to me and kind of unattainable in that way.
He was a little more abrasive.
He was definitely abrasive.
Yeah.
And so I didn't really have skin in the game with him, per se. And yet, when he dies, and he dies defending Tanner, I mean, they found a way that, like, even if you weren't hooked into that character at this point, you get hooked in just in time to lose him, which is, like, sadistic on the part of the writers, but also genius and wonderfully talented at the same time. So yeah, it was a great finale.
So what was great is that they set this up all like a while ago, because Daisy was a character that we're like, oh yeah, we love Daisy. Like, she's like so great. She's stealing the show and everything.
I am a good dog.
Yeah, good dog. And even when she was like battling with Edna, like you kind of almost chose Daisy's side over Edna's, because Edna was like killing like the dogs and vaporizing. You're like, Edna, you're just being jealous and like, for no good reason. But no, Edna knew from the beginning that Daisy was a bad dog. And to like leave the gun there for like her to find it, so that they could be manipulated like that. That's got to be so satisfying. Like if I created this, I would check out reactions for this, because I would want to see like what happens when people saw the twist that like I had laid in there and created this entire time. Like I'm sure they read the comments on this video, every single one of them, because they wanted to see how people reacted when Daisy finally turned there, because they obviously knew from the beginning, and to make us like her like that. It was very well done.
I think it's probably one of my favorite tools in the toolbox of great writers, is to put a twist in that makes you look back on everything that you know and see it totally differently.
Yeah.
That is such a wonderful psychological trick to play on your audience. It is delicious as an audience to experience that and then have the ability to relive everything that we have already seen and know, but in a different light. I mean, it's a wonderful technique, and they executed it with absolute brilliance. Yeah. I will also put in a disclaimer in here. We're going to try and edit this out, but in case anything makes it in still, poor little Bucky. He's had a little bit of an issue with the Fallout series. Yeah. He finds it very scary. This episode in particular, dealing with murder robot dogs and the murder of the murder robot dogs, was really tough on him. So we had to stop several times during the filming of this episode to calm him down so that he could then hopefully allow us to get through the episode, which we finally did, which was wonderful. But in case you hear any growls throughout the episode that aren't coming from the actual show, or if any barks escape into the edit of the final thing, I just wanted to put a disclaimer in there. Bucky's had a tough Fallout journey, and we're hoping that as he continues to grow up, he will be able to handle more Fallout in the future.
Well, you know what though? Like, he is a good dog, because
he is.
This whole time I'm like, what is your deal with Helen? Like, I don't trust Helen now, because there's something on that. No, it was Daisy. It was Daisy that he didn't trust the entire time. Bucky knew.
See, you always trust your animals.
Yep.
You know, if my dog doesn't like you, I'm gonna look at you a little bit differently. I'm sorry. I'm gonna wonder why. I really am.
All right. Anyways, let us know what you thought about this down below in the comments. And if you want early ad-free access to our Fallout reactions as we continue on to Season 4, check out the description of this video, because we got a link to Patreon there. You can get early ad-free access to all of our reactions, actually, on Definitely Not Definitive Games. A lot of the series that we react to on certain days, like Naruto and then Warhammer 40K, we're like a month ahead on our reactions there. Thanks so much for checking out our reaction for Fallout Storyteller, Season 3, Episode 23 and 24, but just keep in mind
that our reaction is definitely not definitive.